Well, let's drill down and have a closer look at what that change in booster shot eligibility actually means. ABC analyst Casey Briggs joins me now. So Casey, how big a difference does cutting the interval make in terms of who can now get a third dose?
Yeah, morning, Dan. It makes a very big difference because we're getting to that point when you kind of track back 4 and 5 months where we saw the big surge in vaccinations happening across particularly New South Wales and Victoria, but also really every state. Let me just show you where the vaccination rate is at the moment. This is the 16 plus population only, 94% first dose, about 91% on second doses, but this is the number we're looking at really most intently right now. 9% of the 16 plus population have had a third dose of a vaccine. When you look at just the total population, include children in that share, that drops about 7%. So 7% of the Australia-wide population has had a third dose at that point. There are still about 1.4 or so million people who are eligible for a third dose yet to get it because they had their second dose more than 5 months ago. So that's already a big chunk of people who are eligible. Just as a thought experiment though, if we were to cut the interval right now from 5 months to 4 months, you instantly add about 4 million more people to the eligibility pile. If you cut it immediately from 4 months to 3 months, adding another 3 million or so people. So going from 5 months to 3 months is about a 7 million increase instantly. So that is the size of this this change, what changing that interval means in terms of who is now all of a sudden eligible. So by the time January 31 rolls around, when this 3-month interval takes effect, when you'll be able to, as of January 31, anyone who had their second dose on or before October 31st will be able to get their third dose. Well, at that point, 60% of the Australian population, including children or thereabouts, will be eligible for a third dose. So we're looking at pretty wide eligibility by the end of January. So the challenge will then become how quickly can you get those doses into arms. And we've seen we can get, as high as 340, 350,000 doses into arms in a single day. That was during the big surge we saw midway through this year. Of course, as national vaccination rates got to 85, 90, 95%, that has slowed down. But just in the last couple of weeks, we're seeing some very healthy numbers again. And the majority of these new doses being done in the last couple of weeks, they're boosters, they're third doses, more than 200,000 in a day. So the challenge will be how much more quickly can that ramp up. And at the same time, as we're looking at these third doses, this eligibility massively expanding on the 4th of January, we'll also be looking at primary school age children, 5 to 11-year-olds able to get their dose. So a lot of people who are either unvaccinated entirely or yet to get a third dose will become eligible in early January. That will be a big logistical challenge. The doses are obviously in the country already, but the logistics and the sort of just the human energy, the number of people required to get those into arms, that will be the big challenge to come.
Yeah, it's going to be a massive change over the weeks ahead. Getting those boosters done, well, that's really important in part of controlling the ongoing case numbers. So on that, what's the latest around the country?
Yes, and obviously as the nation was opening up, all of the modelling that had kind of informed that was based on the Delta strain. We're now dealing with the Omicron strain, which is spreading just in terms of case numbers. We'll start with just case numbers considerably faster. So here's the latest from New South Wales, more than 5,000 cases again today, 5,612. Remember when we thought this was a very big number and everyone was very, very, very nervous about where things were going from here? Well, we've, just in a matter of a week, exceeded the peak of the winter 2021 lockdown. The good news is remaining that the hospitalisation numbers, while they are growing, we are seeing an increase in people entering hospital, 382 now in New South Wales. The good news is, the silver lining, is that share of active cases that are going into hospital is a lot lower than it was during that winter lockdown. And so we want to see that continue as the vaccination and the booster numbers continue to grow. We want to see that number be driven down even further.